Good morning YouTube and welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today I am going over my Week 5 NFL Power Rankings. So I know that there are two games that haven't played yet. There are two Monday night games that haven't played yet, and there's a Week 7 game that has not played yet, but I am making the Power Rankings video anyways. I like making them on Mondays because I always look for power ranking videos on Mondays, and they're never there because everyone waits for the Monday night games to be over. So I like getting them out early so that people can, if they're looking for power rankings videos earlier in the week, then they get to see them. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the content. Last week, this video got a lot of really good reception. Got a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, and it would be really great if that happened again. So make sure to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right in. So for those of you who are new to the channel, how I do power rankings videos here is I know that a lot of what I do is I group all of the teams into tiers. There's a bottom tier, there's a mediocre tier, there's a potential playoff tier, a definite playoff tier, and then the best tier, the top three. So this is the bottom tier. These are the teams that I think have almost no chance at all of making the playoffs at this point in the season. Starting with the New York Jets and Giants. They play in the same stadium. It's a tale of two teams right now. They're both 0-4, and they have 60 points for. The Giants, I think, have like 30-something points for the entire season. It's really sad. It's not going well for them. They're 32-31. 30 is the Jaguars. They had one win, but it was a win week 1. Since week 1, they haven't done anything impressive. Actually, it's just been downhill from there. The Washington football team also won week 1, and it's been downhill from there as well for them. The Houston Texans, I think, have a much better team than their record shows, but they just lost to the Vikings. And at this point, I gotta give it to the Vikings. They played well. Houston also played well, but you can't lose to an 0-3 team and expect to still be anywhere decent on the power rankings. You just can't. So they're down there at 28. 27 is the Denver Broncos. They beat the Jets, but again, beating number 32 doesn't mean that you're the best team in the league. It means that you're above 32. Broncos coming in at 27. Vikings coming in at 26 after beating the Texans again. All of these teams have beaten other teams down here. And if you beat other teams down here, then you can't expect to go anywhere in the power rankings because you're not going to have, you just don't have you don't have anything to show for yourself. So these are my bottom 7. Next is 25 through 17, starting off with the Falcons. They are 0-3. They're another team that showed their defense needs to pull together. And we've seen the Falcons' defense pull together late in the season before. And I think that they could potentially do it this year, but right now, being 0-3, they haven't played their game with the Packers yet. They're probably going to lose to the Packers. I don't see them beating the Packers tonight. So, in all reality, they're going to stay right where they are. If they beat the Packers, then they would shoot right up. They would probably be at the top of this list, but I don't see them beating the Packers tonight, so they're right at the bottom, number 25. Number 24 is the Chargers. They had a good first game. They almost beat the Chiefs. They have some really good close games. I almost put them above the Lions, but I put them at 24. I mean, all of these teams are kind of interchangeable at this point in the season. The Lions got a win. The Eagles and Bengals both got a win this week. The Eagles and Bengals beat more impressive opponents. The Eagles beat the Cowboys, who I think have a better team than their record shows. And the Bengals beat the Bears? I'm not 100% sure. I know they beat a pretty decent team, though. And the Lions also played well against Seattle, against the Saints. The Saints, again, aren't a top-tier team so far this season, but the Lions did play them well. And so I need to give credit where credit's due. So those four are kind of interchangeable. 24, 23, 22, 21. The Dolphins are rounding out the bottom 12, or they're number 20. And the top 20 start with the Panthers at number 19. They are now 2-2. They've won a couple of impressive games in a row after losing a couple of pretty pathetic games. I thought I gave the Panthers less credit than they deserved before the season started. I thought they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. It turns out they are not. They are 2-2 going into Week 5, and that is enough to have a better record than every single other team that I've mentioned so far this video. Next is the Raiders. The Raiders are also 2-2, and so the Panthers, they won the first two and lost the second two. The Cardinals won the first two and lost the second two as well, but the Cardinals lost more pathetically. I almost gave the Raiders number 17 and the Cardinals number 18, but I think the Cardinals have more potential than the Raiders do, even though the Raiders have been more consistently decent. The Cardinals had 2 great games and 2 god-awful games. The Raiders had 4 really solid games. So, 18 and 19. 17 and 18. Number 16 through 10 starts off with the Cowboys at number 16. The Cowboys are the most interesting team in the NFL right now. I actually made a video about it yesterday if you want to go watch. It'll be in the thing above. The Cowboys have one of the best offenses in NFL history and one of the worst defenses in NFL history at the same time. Actually, their defensive statistics are getting extremely scarily close to the worst defense of all time for points per game and yards per game, like the records. They currently have the worst points per game, the second worst yards per game, the second worst turnovers, and so on and so forth. If you want to check out that video, I'll explain more in detail. But I think that if their defense can turn it around, then their offense can make them a high-caliber playoff team. But right now, they're sitting at number 16 because their defense has not turned it around yet. Number 15 is the New Orleans Saints, who are 2-2. I think this team is better than 2-2, but I have them at number 15 right now because they haven't really shown anything with too much oomph. They beat the Lions 35-29. I mean, that's not going to get you a playoff spot. You can't get a playoff spot by beating the Lions. They did beat the Buccaneers, who I have as a much higher team on this power rankings than the Saints, so I will give them that. Number 14 is the 49ers right now. They just lost to the Eagles. I don't give the Eagles a lot of credit because, frankly, I don't believe that they are one of the better teams in the league. I know a lot of people do. I also don't believe in Carson Wentz, even though I know a lot of people do. But I watched the game last night, and the 49ers controlled that game. If Nick Mullins didn't throw that pick 6, the 49ers would have won that game, and they would have won 2 games without their starting quarterback. But they're 2-2. They've been injured the entire season. I think once they're healthy, they will be a potentially top 10 team. So right now they're sitting at number 14. Number 13 is the Chicago Bears, and I've been waiting for the Bears to get their first loss on the record since the beginning of the season. They finally did. They are now 3-1, and to be quite honest, the team that they lost to was not that impressive. So I never had. They were the only 3-0 team that wasn't in the top 10 for me, I don't think. And then I just dropped them a couple places when they got their loss because I already had them where I expected them to be. Next one up is the Rams at 3-1. The Cleveland Browns and the Colts are also at 3-1. The reason why I ordered these teams the way that I did, the Rams have had the least impressive season so far. They played some good games. They beat the Cowboys. They almost beat the Bills. They played the Bills really tough. But they did give up a lead to them. They gave up a lead to a playoff team. So they got the short end of the stick. They're number 12. Number 11 is the Browns. The Browns have had a very good season so far for the Browns. They had a very good win yesterday. And I expect them to continue to do well this season. They beat the Cowboys. There's a common trend between the Browns and the Rams of beating the Cowboys. The Browns won 49-38 in a much more Cowboy-like manner. The Rams won in a very low-scoring game. This is the first game of the season. The Browns won in a very high-scoring game, which is what we're going to be seeing from the Cowboys for the rest of the season. And the Colts are sitting pretty at number 10 because they have the best defense in the NFL. Not arguably the best. They have the best defense in the NFL. I was a little skeptical when I made my NFL best defense video, defense power rankings from last week, because they hadn't played any too impressive teams, but I gotta hand it to them. They have the best defense in the NFL. And next week, the Colts and the Browns are playing each other. That will be an exciting game. I'm so happy to see. I'm so excited to see which team is going to come up on top, because one of those teams is going to be 3-2. One of them is going to be 4-1. It'll be very fun to watch, and one of them might move into the top 10. Coming in at number 9, we have the New England Patriots, and this might be a little bit of a controversial pick because Cam Newton just contracted the COVID virus, but I think that the Patriots are solid at number 9. We've had a very solid season so far. We're 3-1. We lost to the Seahawks. We lost in a very strong, good game. Cam Newton will set us back a little bit. We're going to lose to Kansas City, but we'll probably beat the Broncos, and we'll probably come out of it 3-2. And Cam Newton will probably be back in a couple weeks. So it's nothing too big to worry about. Yeah. Next is the Buccaneers. They're number 8. They had an impressive game this past week. Very high scoring. Tom Brady threw for 5 touchdowns. Their offense is starting to come into its own. Their defense is one of the best in the league. The Buccaneers are here to stay. And then here's the string of AFC powerhouses. We have the Bills, the Titans, the Steelers, and the Ravens. Next week, the Titans and the Steelers. Actually, no, the Titans and the Steelers aren't playing each other until week 7. I forgot about that. So the Bills are first. They're number 7. They've had a very impressive season so far. Josh Allen has been very impressive. He's having an MVP season right now. He's probably second in the race behind Russell Wilson, and then Dak Prescott is third because his team doesn't have a record. But again, Bills have had a very impressive season. These 3 teams, the Bills, the Titans, and the Steelers, are all very interchangeable. And then the Titans are next. And again, the Steelers, they all have very solid offense. They all have very solid defenses. The one thing about the Titans that's a little scary is that the Titans have only won by 3 points every time they've won. But again, they are 3-0, so you have to give it to them. The Ravens are 3-1. I have them ahead of these other teams because they lost to the Chiefs. If you lose to the best, then you don't get counted. You don't get counted against you if you lose to the best. And my top 3 are the Packers, the Seahawks, and the Kansas City Chiefs. These 3 teams are incredible this year. Incredible. These 3 teams are by far the best teams in the league. It's not even comparable. The Packers, the Seahawks, and the Chiefs have had the 3 most explosive offenses other than the Cowboys, and the Chiefs are probably the number 1 because they are the reigning Super Bowl champs and have the best defense. The Seahawks are my pick to win the Super Bowl, so they're number 2. Number 3 is the Packers. Aaron Rodgers has had a very impressive season. He's had a very impressive career, and this season is just adding on top of it. So I'm excited to see where these teams go. Packers play tonight. I'll be watching. So thank you guys all for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I come out with new content almost every single day. It's been a full week of me uploading consistently, and the channel is doing much better. So I hope you guys do enjoy the videos. Tell your friends. We're trying to hit 50 subscribers, so we're on the road to 50 right now. Last week we had a video that did very well. It was my week 4 power rankings. So hopefully this video does quite as well. I don't think it will, but it might do better than my average video, and I'd be completely fine with that. So thank you guys again for all the support. It really is appreciated. I even put out a little video yesterday. It already got 12 views, which is a lot for. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot for me. So thank you guys for watching the channel. I love that you guys enjoy my content, and I enjoy making it. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.